4 nominees tonight. Winning school, $5,000 from Pontiac in the General Scholarship Fund. And you can register to win a scholarship for you or someone you love. Some scores, as I said in the pregame show, Dennis Dixon, clearly the most valuable player in college football. Without him, injured the Oregon quarterback. They got nothing against UCLA. He got shut out 16-0. BYU beats up on Utah. They get the Beehive boot. Vanderbilt not being able to come bowl eligible, 31-17. Wake Forest the winner there. And Cincinnati and Syracuse locked in a battle on ESPNU. 35-24. Bearcats have the lead. Not far away from the second half in Auburn.
The Pontiac Performance Halftime Report is powered by Pontiac. Watch this season's best Pontiac game-changing performances at ESPN.com. Keyword Pontiac.
It's the season to shop, and the red tags are coming back for the Buick Pontiac GMC Red Tag event. And right now, they're bringing the best values of the season. Look for the red tag and get 0% financing for 60 months on remaining 2007 Pontiac, Buick, and GMC models. That's 0% financing for 5 full years on all 2007 cars, light-duty trucks, and SUVs while supplies last. The Red Tag event. See some red, save some green.
No one comes into our house and pushes us around. Whose house is this? Mucus's house!
When mucus huddles in your chest, the congestion doesn't quit.
Whose house? Mucus's house!
That's why there's Mucinex. Mucinex is specially made to break up mucus that causes congestion.
Not now! It's a blowout!
And only Mucinex lasts for 12 hours.
Can we play at your house?
Mucinex in, mucus out.
First, I want to thank my rival coach here for getting my favorite pizza delivered. That was a class act. Thanks, Coach.
It's not delivery.
What? Hey, if this isn't delivery, we'll play the entire game in...
Taste the pizza that has no rival. It's not delivery, it's DiGiorno.
Set. Blue 28. Ready, hit.
Is this dress too sparkly?
I believe that this is a practical world and that I can count only on what I earn.
Therefore, I believe in work, hard work.
I believe in honesty and truthfulness.
I believe in a sound mind and a sound body and a spirit that is not afraid.
I believe in obedience to law because it protects the rights of all.
I believe in my country because it is a land of freedom.
And because Auburn men and women believe in these things, I believe in Auburn and love it.
You're watching ESPN's Rivalry Week, presented by Remington.
Roll Tide.
War Eagle.
If you and your wife are watching the game and you're rooting for different sides, I want to be in a different room. I don't want to watch it together. If you like offense, this one had to be a little disappointing. Both of these teams coming out with the same idea: run the football and play tough defense, and that's why we have so few yards and only a 10-7 score. And this is good news for Auburn because Brandon Cox, who went down and stayed down for quite a while, grasping his right knee at the end of the half, is back up. He looks fine warming up on the sideline. What do we see in the second half? What's going to change this for one of these teams?
Well, I think turnovers are still an important part of this football game, and who's going to take advantage of a situation? You know, that first half, the thing that stood out to me, Alabama had some opportunities, didn't capitalize on their turnover.
Right.
1 of 2 in red zone opportunities, and that was their problem last week. They were 2 of 5 in the red zone against Louisiana Monroe. Who takes advantage of opportunities? Whether it's a turnover, whether it's a field position, that's going to determine the outcome of this game.
Alabama missed a field goal in the second quarter, which could have tied this game. Auburn will have a chance to go on offense first. Let's go to Holly Rowe.
Hey guys, I spoke with Nick Saban at the half. I asked him about those problems we saw on the offensive line in the first half. He said there won't be any personnel changes, including Antoine Caldwell, who's playing right tackle. But he did say they'll make some adjustments. He was very quiet about it. I kind of teased him and said, come on, coach, just give me one adjustment. He said, all right, how about we just got to block better up front. The really good news, though, Brandon Cox for Auburn appears to be fine with that right knee.
All right, thanks, Holly. Good field position for Auburn. They start from the 41. Lester, the tailback. Cox under pressure, got away. And Brandon Cox will complete that one to Stewart up at the 46-yard line. Keith Saunders had a shot at him from the backside, somehow missed him.
Yeah, this went from about a 12-yard loss to a gain of about 5 or 6. Saunders not able to wrap up Brandon Cox. Again, he's not the most elusive guy, but he does just enough on that play to turn a negative into a positive.
Initially, he avoided a 250-pound splatter and then even turned it into a positive play. Lester got some blocking in front, takes it outside. 45, 42-yard line, first down Auburn.
A great cut, too.
His center, Jason Bosley, got out there and threw him a good block.
Yeah, Bosley's going to get a block, and Montez Billings, number 84, wide receiver, is going to get a good block on Kareem Jackson, and then Brad Lester just sets him up. He dips in. That caused Kareem Jackson to step inside, and they showed that burst getting to the corner.
Boy, when Jackson did that, he just gave him the corner.
Yep, sure did. He's a freshman. Saw him do that in the game last week against Louisiana Monroe. Lose leverage, freshman mistake.
Cox, another short set after a play fake. Throws complete to Smith, and Smith picks up about 9 yards. Kareem Jackson on the coverage. He made the tackle.
Now, Holly mentioned the good news for Auburn, having Brandon Cox back in the game and healthy. The other good news for Auburn is in this series, the team leading at halftime has won 73% of the time. So if you're into that kind of numbers, which I know some guys in this booth are, like the numbers.
Oh, I love numbers. Lester dragged back after he has the first down inside the Alabama 30-yard line. It was the middle linebacker Rolando McClain who was in on the tackle again. McClain's had a big night.
Rolando McClain is a true freshman who started out the season, was one of the few true freshmen ever to start on defense for Alabama. And then along the way, he kind of hit the wall a little bit, and Prince Hall has moved into the starting lineup, but McClain playing a lot again tonight. It's a long season for a guy right out of high school.
Yes, it is. 10 tackles and a pick. Pretty good performance in the Iron Bowl. Lester on the toss. Boy, that was a good play by Simeon Castile. Came up from the corner.
And that was the difference between a senior corner and a freshman corner, because he never lost that leverage. He stayed outside. He forced the runner inside where there was help. And the couple plays before, we saw Kareem Jackson take too much of an inside move and give up the outside of the defense.
His dad was a great player.
Yeah. And his brother was an excellent fullback for Alabama. Tim Castile played. They played together for a few years.
Lester out of the eye. Stewart is the blocking back in front of him. Good play fake by Cox, and Cox had Lester wide open, and he missed him.
Sure did. Again, the shifts and the movement.
I mean Stewart.
Yeah. The shifts and the movements created a little uncertainty for the Alabama defense. And watch the fullback 32 slip right out in between Mustin and Rolando McClain, and Brandon Cox just not able to get him the football. Well, that was a well-conceived, well-designed play, just not executed properly.
As a former quarterback, sometimes those guys are so wide open, it's a harder throw, isn't it?
And when they're wide open, you got to
aim it?
No, throw right at them. Just throw right at them. Even if you stop and catch it, that's better than trying to be perfect with it. Alabama with a lot of folks around the line of scrimmage. That's why Brandon Cox is changing the play here.
Got one-on-one on the outside, tries a little turn-in pass, and it's incomplete, intended for Montez Billings. Kareem Jackson on the coverage. These two teams, no matter what the records, are always going to go tooth and nail in this one. The 72nd renewal of Auburn, Alabama. It's the Iron Bowl, and Auburn going for its 6th straight victory. They have never won 6 in a row in this series.
And if they would win, Tommy Tuberville will have beaten 4 different Alabama head coaches in the Iron Bowl. That's kind of amazing.
That's pretty good. Byram has already hit from 37. This is from 43. It's got a hook, and it doesn't.
Well, both teams now with a missed field goal, and it's still a 3-point game.
We expected a tight one, and we have it. 11:57 to go, 3rd quarter. It's a 3-point game.
When Dodge unveils the most exciting sales event of the year, we want everyone to know about it. Announcing the Dodge event of a lifetime. For a limited time, get 0% financing on 2008 models, all backed by our lifetime powertrain warranty. That's the best warranty in the business, bar none. But hurry to your Dodge dealer today, because while the warranty goes on for a lifetime, this event ends soon.
College football, play-by-play from every major conference. XM. Get 3 months free when you activate an XM radio by December 31st. Are you on?
This holiday, don't just buy stuff, do stuff. Like spread some joy.
On his first space flight aboard the shuttle Atlantis, astronaut Jim Voss awoke to a familiar refrain. The Auburn fight song was playing as NASA's wake-up call that day. While pursuing an aerospace engineering degree at Auburn, Voss had been cheered to the song as one of the top wrestlers in the SEC. Later, the veteran of 5 space flights would perform 4 mission-critical spacewalks during his exemplary career with NASA. The SEC, a story of character.
ESPN's college football primetime available on ESPN HD, presented by Pioneer Kuro HD TV. This is not a good statistic if you're Alabama. They have lost 8 straight games in the month of November. And that's when you have to win games.
And those 3 that they did win of their last 16 were all against the same team, Mississippi State.
But not this year.
No.
Auburn, gang tackle. Gain of maybe a yard for Glenn Coffey. Etheridge led the charge from his safety spot.
Holly Rowe was reporting to us during that last break. A little bit of a depth problem for Auburn on defense now. Chris Evans, number 59, who was their leading tackler and a starting linebacker. He's been banged up, and he didn't start the game tonight. They started Merrill Johnson, but they expected Evans to be back able to play, but not able to go anymore tonight. So down depth-wise at linebacker.
John Parker Wilson on the slant to Nikita Stover, has it at the 35-yard line. Jonathan Wilhite made the tackle.
John Parker Wilson has not looked particularly sharp tonight. His first completion there to a wide receiver. Auburn has kind of shut down the outside passing game of Alabama. 5 of 10, 39 yards. But again, you just got to wait for those opportunities. And when the opportunity presents itself, you got to step up and make a play.
Third and about 1.5 yards. Diving for it, the fullback Stewart. He's not going to be there. I thought you made a great distinction early in the year with John Parker Wilson. When they played against Arkansas and he was going against man-to-man, he just torched them.
Yeah.
But against the zone, he hasn't been that effective. Neither have his receivers.
And Auburn is primarily a zone defensive team. They like to line up with those two deep safeties, and they roll to a lot of different coverages out of that same look, but most of them are zone coverages.
Well, John Parker Wilson was lingering on the field that time. He looked like he wanted to go for it.
No, you got to punt the football. Have to
send
punt
on
the
Fitzgerald. Dunn is back high, but very short. And Dunn's going to let it go down to the 32, a kick of only 32 yards. So Auburn, which could have been pinned deep in their own territory, will have pretty decent field position when we come back.
The Rose Bowl game, presented by Citi, New Year's Day at 4:30 Eastern on ABC.
When Dodge unveils the most exciting sales event of the year, we want everyone to know about it. Announcing the Dodge event of a lifetime. For a limited time, get 0% financing on 2008 models, all backed by our lifetime powertrain warranty. That's the best warranty in the business, bar none. But hurry to your Dodge dealer today, because while the warranty goes on for a lifetime, this event ends soon.
Taco Bell's Chipotle Grilled Stuffed Burrito, loaded with marinated carne asada steak, Chipotle seasoned rice, all covered in a spicy Southwest Chipotle sauce.
You want a bite?
Good.
Dude, you gotta try this.
For taste, not fire, think outside the bun.
Smarter and sleeker. Now with real-time, turn-by-turn GPS navigation. It has the intelligence you require with the beauty you desire. The all-new BlackBerry Curve from AT&T, the world's leading provider of BlackBerry service. In new colors, titanium and red. AT&T, your world delivered.
Hearty taste, naturally nutritious. Planters, instinctively good.
ESPN's College Football Primetime, brought to you by Dodge. Live life to the fullest. Dodge, grab life. And Clean Exchange, the only electric shaver with a disposable head. Clean Exchange, new from Remington.
Shot at Toomer's Corner from the Blimp tonight. The Bloomin' Onion one. Downtown Auburn, Alabama. Just a beautiful little city.
I'll guarantee if Auburn wins, it'll look different with all the toilet paper. That's quite a sight to behold. If you've ever been here for an Auburn home game and they win, they decorate.
Outback Steakhouse, proud sponsor of the Outback Bowl, providing all those aerial shots tonight. Lester on the toss sweep. Plows forward to the 37-yard line. They've run very well on first down in particular, which sets up their offense. Lester's done a good job as well.
Both of these teams very similar in the sense that they are not built to just be drop back pass teams exclusively. They must run the football to set up play action pass and to protect their quarterback. That's why you just keep pounding away even though you're not breaking off big time runs.
Lester again to the 40. Let's check in with Reese on the Kansas-Missouri matchup.
Guys, it looks as if Missouri is headed for the Big 12 championship game, up 14-0. Kansas, which all season long is taking care of the football. Todd Reesing had thrown only 4 interceptions all year. Picked off for the second time tonight off the deflection. Caston Bridges going the other way. And Missouri just paid it off with a touchdown, extra point pending. It's 20-0.
Well, we're not surprised by anything this year, are we?
I'll tell you the one thing. I think Missouri, even though they had the one loss, played a much tougher schedule than Kansas. Kansas undefeated, no Oklahoma, no Texas on their schedule.
Cox, look out from behind. Hit just as he threw.
Pursued by Wallace Gilberry, who has had a big-time year for Alabama.
Yes,
he is one of the fun guys to watch in college football because he's listed at 6'3", 267, which means he's really about 6'2", 255. But he plays much bigger than his size is. I mean, he's had 9 sacks, 12 pressures, 22 tackles behind the line of scrimmage this season, and he just looks like a guy who shouldn't be able to make those kind of plays.
Yeah, but he does.
He sure does. Plays with a lot of heart.
And it's hard to sack either one of these quarterbacks with those short drops and getting rid of the ball in a hurry. Low. There was a block in the back, no flag. The Auburn crowd reacting to a 7-yard return. Let's take a look at the ESPNU All-State Standings review. And you've got a team like Ohio State. They're done, which may be the safest place to be, being at home and watching everybody else lose. LSU and that shocker, they're gone. Kansas and Missouri, the survivor, and West Virginia are in the best shape right now.
Yeah, the question, too, for LSU, how far down will they go?
Yeah.
I mean, they're going to go a fairly significant amount. But you're right about Ohio State. They're in the clubhouse watching, but still it's going to be difficult for them to pass a couple of those teams ahead of them if those teams keep winning.
Well, we'll be in Morgantown, West Virginia next Saturday night when they play Pitt, their arch rival, and the Mountaineers, if they take care of business, should be one of the 2 teams in a national championship game. John Parker Wilson throws complete up to the 29-yard line. That won't get him a whole lot. Threw it to Coffee coming out of the backfield, and Patrick Lee was over there on coverage. So many teams have been left for dead this year. Then 3 or 4 are upset in the same weekend, and they get a second chance. Most years they don't get those second chances. Alabama's only thrown 1 pass over 10 yards in this game. Auburn showing blitz. The toss to Coffee, and Blackman shot the gap and made the tackle. This kid's an athlete, isn't he?
Sure is. Really is.
Been bothered by a bad ankle most of the year. We saw him last year, too. And he was, when he wasn't injured, he was always a huge factor in the ballgame. 3rd and 5 as we hit the 7-minute mark in the 3rd quarter. And the Auburn crowd at home trying to pump up the defense. John Parker Wilson.
Beautiful throw.
Stop fade, wasn't it, ever?
I'm impressed you know the name of that route, the stop fade. I like that. That must have been your work with Theismann. Did he teach you that?
He taught me all of them. I learned the passing tree and all that stuff.
That's good, though, and that's exactly right. A perfectly thrown ball by John Parker Wilson to the back shoulder of the receiver. Defender has no chance. If this ball's thrown in the right spot, no way to stop and make the play. Thrown to the back shoulder perfectly. Nikita Stover with the catch.
1st and 10, Alabama at their own 47. Coffee across midfield. I was just going to say the same thing. That's almost unfair to a defensive back because he had great position, but like you said, he had no chance.
Yeah, well, first of all, he has no idea that throw's coming, so he has to keep that position to run deep with the receiver. The receiver knows he's going to stop and when he's going to stop, and then if the quarterback throws it like that, you do have no chance.
Crowd getting a little anxious as Alabama has inched into Auburn territory. 2nd and 6. Coffee has been the workhorse. Tripped over his own man and still got down to the 42-yard line, right about at the sticks. Feast Week continues on ESPN. Tomorrow night we'll have the Big 12 Pac-10 Hardwood Series as the Arizona Wildcats take on number 4 Kansas. The Big 12 Pac-10 Hardwood Series, part of Feast Week, presented by Lowe's on ESPN tomorrow night at 8 Eastern. And boy, with all the early season matchups, basketball just pumped up already. Been some great games. It is a 1st down for Alabama. They go back to the I. John Parker Wilson under pressure and throws it into the ground.
Looking for the screen, it appeared to Coffey. Quick pressure on the outside forced the play to get abandoned. And
that's legal decision. As far as long as there's a receiver there, that's legal to do. And he did have tight end Travis McCall there. Doesn't look good, but it's legal.
Yeah, but you got to avoid a sack there. I mean, that's the worst thing that could happen to Alabama in that situation. After you've got some momentum, you're driving the football, you're in Auburn territory, don't take a negative play.
Especially the way this offense is built. You can't overcome those things. Coffey on the draw.
There's Blackman again.
Well, you can always tell it's him.
Yeah, because when he hits you, you go backwards. I mean, he is just a guy who loves contact and loves that straight ahead, head-on collision. Here he is right here. Watch him meet the back right here and watch Glenn Coffey go backward. Now, some guys shy away from this kind of hit. Trey Blackman lives for it. He runs right through ball carriers.
You could take his name and his number off, and you'd still know when he made the tackle.
Yeah.
Third and long. Blitz coming. Everybody's coming. And John Parker Wilson throws incomplete. Would have been well short of a first down. Wilhite hit DJ Hall just as the ball got there, and Wilhite is still down. Boy, they sent everybody in the kitchen sink after John Parker Wilson.
Well, third down and long. You get right into a situation where a defensive coordinator like Will Muschamp or like a Nick Saban loves to get you in. Some creative type of pressures. It's not necessarily a wholesale blitz because you've got linemen dropping off into coverage. And you're right, if DJ Hall catches this, it's well short anyway. And the ball thrown high and behind him to begin with.
It's one of those tricky little crossing routes which can result in picks all the time, and Wilhite did a really good job of covering up Hall. Dunn is deep.
Boy, great punt there.
Got a very fortunate bounce as well. Burning wood and lots of meat. Sounds like Todd's Taste of the Town is coming up. How did he get his picture on the wall already?
Hey, did you see that game last night?
Did you just question my fanhood in front of the ladies?
Does your fanhood need questioning?
Watch more live sports online than ever before on ESPN360.com and never let them question your fanhood. The Big Ten ACC Challenge. Tuesday, Duke battles Wisconsin, and Wednesday, UNC takes on Ohio State. Every game factors in. ESPN, the bracket beyond the bracket.
No, we only give loans to big business.
Good afternoon. My business plan is fantastic.
What's that?
And as you can see, our
those small business owners.
Research indicates this trend will continue well into next year. Now, if you turn your attention to my 10-year forecast.
Does your bank think small about your small business? Call Capital One instead for no-hassle business loans, lines of credit, and credit cards. Check your mailbox.
Hello, Capital One.
What's in your wallet?
You have a cough, runny nose, nasal congestion, headache, sore throat. You have a bad cold. Get new homeopathic Cold MD Rapid Tabs and actually get over your cold faster. Rapid Tabs melt quickly in your mouth and taste great. The key ingredient not only reduces the severity of your cold symptoms, you actually get over your cold faster. You caught a cold? Get over it with Cold MD Rapid Tabs.
Get new Cold MD Rapid Tabs at Walmart, GNC, and fine retailers everywhere.
Greg Gant standing on his own 30. Auburn will try to block it. Auburn going after it. Here's a good snap. It is blocked. It is blocked. It's caught under
5 guys could have gotten credit for that block.
Well, that happened twice.
Yeah.
I mean, Alabama was winning 16-3 in that game, and Bill Newton blocked 2 punts, both of them returned by David Langer for the touchdown, and they won 17-16.
Cox under pressure, throws from the end zone and throws it out of bounds.
Tell you what, I've been impressed with the Alabama defense ever since that opening drive when Auburn went right down the field in 12 plays and scored, and Holly gave that report that Nick Saban talked to his defense about, hey, they're only shifting a couple guys, let's not get freaked out, let's recognize what we're supposed to do. Ever since then, I think this Alabama defense has settled down and played extremely well.
Cox has only hit 2 of his last 7 passes, by the way, and only 14 yards over that span.
Even though Auburn has a 3-point lead, the game kind of feels like the momentum is a little bit more on the Alabama side.
It does. Cox throws this one underneath. That's going to be a minimum gain as Kareem Jackson wraps up Montez Billings. Good news for Alabama, by the way, tonight. South Carolina loses, so that improves their bowl possibilities. They may be seen as a more attractive candidate than South Carolina with 6 wins.
Big play right here for Alabama's defense. Want to maintain this field possession advantage after the good punt.
Cox again throws underneath. Billings trying to get the first down out to the 16-yard line. He was very close to it, then retreated a step, and he doesn't have it.
He had it, and then he lost it. He tried to make a bigger play instead of just securing the first down.
And, boy, you've got to know where you are and what the situation is.
You have to catch that ball and turn north and south right away and get yourself 4 more downs.
Let's go to Holly.
Guys, problems developing for Alabama right now. Matt Cadell is out there trying to return this punt because their regular punt returner, Jonathan Lowe's been taken to the locker room with a right ankle injury. Javier Arenas also out, so they're down to the bare bones on special team returns.
Well, he's the 3rd one on that depth chart, the low line drive. And out of bounds, there's a flag down back at the 3.
Yeah, Chris Rogers, number 8, ran into the kicker.
And on 4th and 1, that'll be enough for a first down.
Well, we've seen both teams have special teams errors. Both teams have missed field goals, and now both teams have run into the punter and given the ball back to the offense. There's no such thing as being blocked into the kicker in college football. It's your responsibility to avoid the contact. It wasn't roughing, but it was enough to give him a first down.
No, it was closer to touching than roughing, but that's the rule.
And in both cases, with both teams, the problem is that you go right at the punter. You've got to go to the spot where the ball is supposed to be coming off the foot, not the punter's body.
So that's a huge break. Instead of having the ball just outside the 40, they let Tate get another crack at it. He's up to the 38-yard line, a gain of 18. Here's Reese Davis.
All right, Mike, you said that South Carolina lost. Here's how it happened. 34-yard field goal attempt. Buck Holt splits the uprights. He came up a little short last week against BC, but not this time. South Carolina finishes 6-6. South Carolina wins it by 2. Missouri on top of Kansas. Jayhawks on the board about halfway through the 3rd on ABC.
Auburn. And, boy, you could almost feel the momentum shift after that. Cox, play action, in trouble, wants it back to Tate, and underthrown because of the pressure.
Underthrown because of the pressure, and also Wallace Gilberry reading that play late and getting out there just enough in the way to disrupt the play. And it's a throwback to Tate. It's kind of a trick play, but the pressure forces the throw, but Wallace Gilberry on the backside of the defense did his job and stayed at home and enough to affect the play.
A minute 59 left in the 3rd quarter. Ben Tate is the deep man in the eye on 2nd and 10. Tate, couple of yards, that's it. You just get the feeling a turnover is going to decide this game. Here's Holly.
Well, guys, Wallace Gilberry continues to impress on Auburn, Alabama's defense. He's had 37 consecutive starts, and guys, we talked about it earlier, he may not pass the eye test as far as size and speed for a prototypical defensive end, but he leads the SEC in sacks this year, and his defensive coordinator, Kevin Steele, says, I don't know what it is about this guy. He just has this fire inside of him. He said, sometimes we're watching film, and I am shocked by the plays he's able to make. It's all want to with this kid.
And Holly, he also has 69 tackles. He's number 2 on the team, and that's highly unusual for a defensive lineman. Trying to get that first down. It looks like they're just a hair short.
But this time Billings had a better idea what he needed to do for the first down. Tried to take that catch and go north and south. Alabama came with pressure, but even though Auburn's got to punt the football, the fact that they got the roughing the punter and got the ball back, now they can flip field position. Exactly. Alabama stood to have great field position after the punt. Now Auburn has a chance to pin them back. And in a game like this, a 3-point game, that is huge.
Cadell back again as the punt returner. Signals fair catch, goes back, lost the ball.
Should have never caught it in the first place. Again, you're down to your third punt returner, as Holly reported. Arenas, one of the best in the SEC, out with a high ankle sprain. Jonathan Lowe hurts his ankle. And now here's Cadell. Should have let that one go. Let it bounce into the end zone. Very fortunate that he kicked it out of bounds. But Alabama with horrible field position.
That's just lack of experience. He makes a cardinal error for a kick returner and then kicks it out of bounds at the 1.
I mean, the rule of thumb, and I was never a punt returner, but I know you put your heels on the 10-yard line, and if that ball is anywhere behind you, you let it go and hope that it bounces into the end zone.
Talk about a turn in field position.
My goodness.
Coffee just trying to get a little breathing room, and a little is all he got. We told you we'd have Todd's Taste of the Town. It is coming up. The man who is trying to eat his way into SEC history will be back with that as we go to the 4th quarter in a 3-point game.
ESPN Shop has gifts from every major sport and league. Go to ESPNShop.com.
When Dodge unveils the most exciting sales event of the year, we want everyone to know about it. Announcing the Dodge event of a lifetime. For a limited time, get 0% financing on 2008 models, all backed by our lifetime powertrain warranty. That's the best warranty in the business, bar none. But hurry to your Dodge dealer today, because while the warranty goes on for a lifetime, this event ends soon.
You hear that?
What?
I think I hear reindeer.
Come on, everybody! Let's go! All right! A new table saw for me? Are you kidding? Way to go, Santa! Woo!
Get a 4-burner stainless gas grill for only $179, or a workforce chest and cabinet for $59.99. The Home Depot. You can do it. We can help.
Oh, look, there's a ladder, too.
Jack Link's Beef Jerky presents Messin' with Sasquatch.
Hey, you want to ride? It's okay. Sorry. We're sorry. Sorry, buddy. Sorry, buddy.
Jack Link's Jerky. Feed your wild side.
Hope I don't biz work this Christmas.
Yeah, how will you pay for things like food, electricity?
Ooh, bingo bills.
Gadzooks! You need a backup plan.
That's why we have Affleck.
So I'll have cash to help pay bills.
Right, but what if you're still not better by Christmas?
Affleck! Ask about it at work. Rudolph's better. But now Blitzen's sick.
They've stormed beaches and freed countries. They've raised our flag and our hope. They've been called leathernecks. They've been called devil dogs. But above all, they're called Marines.
Welcome back to ESPN's College Football Primetime, presented by Hampton Hotels. If you're in the state of Alabama or anywhere in this country or in Iraq with the 1203rd Engineering Battalion in Balad, we're out of Dothan, Alabama. Auburn and Alabama fans both enjoying it from Iraq tonight. Alabama backed up to its own 4-yard line on 2nd down. It'll be 3rd down now from the 5. Field position so critical with two teams like this. Here's Holly Rowe.
Well, guys, the most explosive weapon for Alabama, DJ Hall, has been on the sideline for an extended period here, guys. He's in a lot of pain. I'm told he has a previous thigh or hamstring injury. He's been on the bike trying to loosen it up. He's been stretching. He's clearly not at full speed, and right now, not in the game, guys. Not sure if he can go.
Remember his last play. He had to reach back for that ball, and he was hit by Jonathan Wilhite. Might have aggravated that injury even more.
They need to reach the 11 for a 1st down. How conservative are you down here? Back to throw. Airs it out down the sideline and too far for Stover. He was covered like a blanket by Wilhite. Let's check in with Reese. SportsCenter 30 at 30 update.
All right, Mike, plenty of news both on and off the field in college football. A couple of coaches get fired on this Saturday. Nebraska ends the Bill Callahan era after 4 years, and Orgeron won't get a 4th year at Ole Miss after going 0-8 in the SEC. Tennessee is going to play in the SEC championship game. It took 4 overtimes, but the Volunteers beat Kentucky for the 23rd straight time. SportsCenter after the game.
All right, thank you, Reese. This is Robert Dunn, and he's out of bounds.
And just when they needed it, P.J. Fitzgerald with his best punt of the night for Alabama. 46 yards. Dunn actually dropped the football and had to retreat a few yards. And just when it looked like Auburn would have field position on the Alabama side of the 50, Fitzgerald bails them out with a bomb.
Well, ever since Mississippi made the mistake with David Cutcliffe, things have not gone well in Oxford. Auburn will start on its side of the 50, and they've got Tate as the running back. Cox, trying to win his 3rd straight as a starter, will pick up 8 yards on the run. Keith Saunders made the tackle. Brandon Cox, the longest run he's had as his senior year is almost over, was 11 yards. That one was 8.
But that was 8 tough yards, and a smart decision to pull that ball down and go straight ahead. Get what you can get.
100 yards throwing tonight. Tate leans forward. Looks like he has another 1st down. Mustin makes the tackle.
Now, you talk about a quarterback's legacy, a guy like Brandon Cox. You say, well, Auburn didn't win an SEC championship while he was here, or, you know, he didn't lead them to a national championship. But if he leaves this place having beaten Alabama 3 times, his legacy is pretty secure in the state of Alabama. I mean, and if he ever comes back to Auburn, I don't think he'll have to buy a ticket to a game.
Well, he'll be like you, be able to get a free meal anywhere. Never have to pay for dinner for the rest of his life. Cox in a roll, throws incomplete. Good defense by Rashad Johnson. May have gotten a piece of that as Cox was trying to work his receiver toward the sideline. Here are the numbers on Cox. 3rd in passing yards, 3rd in touchdown passes, 4th in wins. That's a pretty decent legacy.
It really is. And you know, when we talked to Al Borges, his offensive coordinator, he said, you know, his senior year, Brandon Cox, it wasn't what he hoped for, and it wasn't what Brandon hoped for, but he's really proud of the way that he overcame the bad start, even being benched at one point early in the season, and hung in there and finished strong down the stretch.
2nd down, throw sideline, and Smith will make the catch at the 38-yard line. Here's Holly with more on Brandon Cox.
You know, Brandon Cox said this week that win or lose this game, he had set and exceeded many of the goals he set for himself when he came to Auburn. He said, I've been a starting quarterback in the SEC for 3 years, and let's not forget, we've told this story many times over the years, but he has overcome a debilitating disease, myasthenia gravis. It's a neuromuscular condition where he has to take medication every single day. It's aggravated by stress, but guys, he's managed it, he's overcome it, and he's been a 3-year starter.
How calm do you have to be if it's aggravated by stress and you're a starting quarterback in the SEC to be able to handle that? Here comes the blitz. And Cox does the smart thing, throws it into the ground in front of Montez Billings.
Alabama, even though Nick Saban and Will Muschamp work together, there's a difference in style. Alabama, this is Nick Saban's kind of defense. He believes in a lot of pressure. Put your corners on an island, play more man-to-man defense, and bring lots of pressure. Will Muschamp has become a little bit more of a zone-oriented defensive coordinator here. I think a lot of that has to do with Tommy Tuberville's influence as well.
Shoemaker to kick. Lowe is back on the field. Straight up the shaft and a fair catch of the 12th time now for Todd's. Taste of the town.
Whenever I do a game in Auburn, my first stop is Byron's Smokehouse. Now, Byron's is a place that was opened in 1989 by a guy named Byron Gullidge and his son Glenn and his wife Stephanie. Originally, it was a little old place down the road that was primarily a carryout place. 5 years ago, they moved into a much bigger place, and on a football weekend, they'll serve nearly 700 pounds of meat.
700 pounds. Yikes. We'll see what's on the menu in just a second. Just inside the 13 is where Alabama will take over. And the toss to Upchurch, who's in on this series. And let's see what's on the menu this afternoon for Todd.
You've heard of a meat lover's pizza? Well, Byron's is a meat lover's paradise for a guy like me. Thanks, Aubrey. I mean, look at this. I've got chicken, I've got ribs, I've got some sausage and some shredded pork with some hot sauce on it. This is how we roll, baby.
Was that enough meat for you?
Yeah, it was. It actually was. It filled me up. Yeah. I'll tell you what, they got great stuff there. I love Byron's. And, you know, Byron's granddaughter, Aubrey, made a big plate of cookies for me to bring to the booth that I don't know where they all went. You know, somehow between getting them from the hotel to here, I lost about half of them. But
the doorman at the hotel said, Mr. Blackledge left you a plate of cookies, so we ate them on the way over.
Okay, good. Well, you're going to have the rest, too. You can eat the rest on your way back.
Thank you. John Parker Wilson with a strike down the middle out to the 43 to Brown for a first down gain of 19. That's his best throw of the night.
Well, it all starts with that first run by Upchurch, and then they go play action. And John Parker Wilson with a beautiful throw. Good timing, but again, the running game sets up the passing game, and a wide receiver making a play for Alabama. They have been so quiet tonight. Keith Brown with a big catch right there.
Brown with his first catch of the night, the 98th catch of his career. Boy, Upchurch gets to that hole in a hurry.
Yeah, they've had a nice little mix with Upchurch and Coffee running the football. Again, kind of mysterious why we haven't seen Terry Grant at all, but these two guys have more than adequately carried the football.
Taste of the Town has become such a sensation tonight. I'll repeat this because we said it in the first half. When we had Nick Saban on a conference call, the first thing he asked, not about this series and being the first-year coach in the Alabama-Auburn series, he wanted to know where Todd was going to have lunch. John Parker Wilson under pressure, throws too high, just touched by Nick Walker. And if you want to see any of the previous installments of Todd's Taste of the Town, you can find them all at ESPN.com by searching for Taste of the Town. And then you'll get another panel. Just click on Gravy, and they will give you all the recipes. And there was a holding call.
Yeah. You know, the other thing that I'm seeing with John Parker Wilson, now we didn't see it on the throw to Keith Brown, but you know, that's about the fourth time I've seen him tonight where there's some pressure coming and he's backing up, he's moving his feet, he's not setting his feet.
10-yard penalty, remains second down.
Pretty tough to throw off your back foot.
Well, it's tough to be accurate. It's tough to get down on the football, and that the ball tends to sail on you, and that particular throw really sailed on John Parker Wilson. You got to stick that foot in the ground, and if you get hit, you get hit, but deliver a ball on target.
2nd and 16. Upchurch. Really a conservative call.
This game, I mean, both coaches know that their defenses are playing well.
Yeah.
And they don't want to do something to put their defenses in a bind. They want to play field position. They want to play smart. And they want to hope that they can force a turnover from the other guy and make one play to win the game.
You're not going to get many more chances, though.
No, you're right.
Clock's running.
This is one of the faster games that we've ever done.
Yes, it is. When you run it this much, it really shortens the game. 3rd and 11. Blitz coming. Hit from behind and just got rid of it. He was drilled by Senderick Marks, who got a great jet start off the outside.
And Quentin Groves also, who had a couple of big sacks last year. Groves is standing up. He's the first guy to get there. Puts the hit in the back.
Yes, he did.
And he just ran right around the left tackle, Andre Smith, who's their best lineman, but was not in good position to block the speed rush of Groves.
Groves, who has a tremendous personality, has been bothered all year by 3 dislocated toes. He cannot push off of that foot. It has been so tough for him. He's a kid who plays hard all the time. Here's Dunn. Punter to beat. Taken down at the 43. Huge play for Auburn. 33-yard return of a 34-yard punt for Robert Dunn.
Look good while making someone look bad. All the gear you want to get. Sports Authority, dedicated to the dedicated.
Guinness, it's alive inside. Please drink responsibly.
There are some crazy blades out there, so reach for the ultimate balm. Replenishing aftershave balm with Care Protect soothes and repairs the damage from shaving. Only from Nivea for Men.
Don't miss great gifts at unbeatable prices during the Bass Pro Shops 4-day sale going on now. Get Bass Pro Shops logo hooded sweatshirts for only $10. Bass Pro quad chairs are only $6. Save 50% on Frog Talk Pro Signature rain suits. And the TomTom One portable GPS is only $119.88 after mail-in rebates. Get great savings on gifts that last all year during the 4-day sale now through Sunday. Bass Pro Shops. Your adventure starts here.
All right, villains. If we ever hope to get rid of Shrek, we're gonna need some practice. We need a target. Seize him!
Now I've got you.
Get it!
Get her
free Shrek fairy tale with specially marked packages of Energizer Max batteries. Energizer keeps going and going and going.
ESPN salutes the Southeastern Conference. 75 years of excellence in collegiate athletics.
Somebody must have told everyone in the conference that the 75th anniversary year, every game had to be close. 18 games in the conference decided by 6 points or fewer. We're working on another one here tonight. It's 10-7. Auburn takes over at the 44. Leicester picks up almost 5.
We're going to go back to this punt return, 33 yards by Dunn. Now just watch. Why do you have starters on your special teams? Because you want them to make good decisions. Patrick Lee, number 20, with a big-time block, and Gerard Powers, the other starting corner, number 8, chose not to block in the back. Just his decision not to try to block. Patrick Lee's decision to get the good block, open things up for Dunn, and Auburn in great field position.
In a game like this, even an additional field goal could be huge. Touchdowns have not been easy to come by. Leicester, maybe a yard on that one. Wallace Gilberry on the stop. It'll be a big third down.
And if you're Alabama, I mean, you obviously are thinking stop right here, but worst case scenario for you has to be a field goal. If you give up a touchdown here to Auburn with 7:40 and the clock running, not sure you're going to score twice to come back and win this game.
If you're a quarterback right now, you're thinking, I'd love to have a deep shot. Just one. One wide receiver. Toss to Leicester. Cuts it back, has the first down and more.
Well, that's just good running by Leicester, yes, because they shifted to try to outflank the Alabama defense. Alabama responded by getting enough defenders over there, and this is just Leicester just making people miss. Just kind of getting small behind those linemen, and when he saw a little crease, shooting through there for the first down.
16 carries, 70 yards for Leicester, who was averaging 4.2 coming into this game per carry. Now he's out of the eye. Alabama may have jumped. Could be a free play for Cox. Smith off his foot. He caught it out of bounds.
Yeah, you're right. Brandon Cox knew he had a free play. Take a shot down the field. There haven't been many throws down the field for Auburn.
That could have been spectacular.
Yeah.
And it looked like Mustin was offside.
This one step into the neutral zone by Mustin.
Oh. Kick save and a beauty. So it's 1st and 5 instead. Rodriguez Smith been very quiet tonight, the leading receiver on the club with 45 catches coming in. Auburn now within field goal range, and time becoming a huge factor. 6:49 to go in this ball game.
A huge factor, and I think if for both teams, and for Auburn right now, you're thinking, okay, keep our momentum, keep our same normal rhythm, but let's also know that the more we can run this clock off, the more duress we're going to put on Alabama. Whether we come away from this drive with a field goal or hopefully a touchdown, we also want to use as much time as we possibly can.
Byram keeping that leg warm. He's made one and missed one tonight. 6:10 to go. Cox, quick out. Diving for a first down, his tight end Cole Bennett. 3 catches tonight for the big tight end.
Well, they've moved these tight ends around all night, reshifting, resetting. 87. Bennett, not one of the top receivers, 6 catches coming into the ball game tonight, but a nice little route on the flat arrow route. And Brandon Cox gets rid of the ball quickly, and Bennett gets Auburn another first down.
Clock stops while they move the change. It'll restart and we'll be down to 6 minutes. Trot is in there, so is Bennett. 2 tight ends set. Tate the tailback. And Auburn loving every second of this, and Tate is just drilled as he came to the line of scrimmage. Heck of a play by Darren Mustin, and here's Holly.
Guys, this is the first time I've covered the Iron Bowl, and I was expecting all kinds of emotion, chest pumping, all this craziness down here. But what it feels like is a very serious, business-like atmosphere on the Alabama sideline right now. Guys are very focused. There's not many outbursts of emotion at all. Instead of like a heavyweight fight, what it feels like right now is a 10,000-meter race. Who's going to have the kick at the end to win this ball game?
Well, Holly, that's a great example. I agree with you, too. We're getting close to the end of that 10,000 meters. It's time for somebody to start a finishing kick. Cox avoids the sack and throws it away.
This is going to be a roughing the quarterback, though. A dumb decision at the end of the play by Keith Saunders. The ball was thrown away by Brandon Cox. He's just getting rid of it to avoid the sack. And unnecessarily, Keith Saunders is going to hit him right by the Auburn sideline, no less. Boy,
what a horrible time to make a stupid mistake.
Very, very costly. 2nd and long. It's going to be 3rd and long.
Number 94 defense. Pass it to the goal. Automatic first down.
It could not have come at a worse time. This would have been 3rd and 12 if he just runs away from this. Instead, right in front of the Auburn bench and the screaming Auburn coaches, you knock the senior quarterback down. And that has to draw the flag.
Wasn't much, but it was enough.
And it was in the wrong place.
Yeah, it sure was.
It was in the wrong place.
That's the 4th penalty against Alabama. Auburn has not been flagged tonight. It's a new set of downs. 1st and goal. Mark the ball just outside the 8. Lester powers his way down to the 2. And the Alabama defense has got to stand tall right now. If they give up a touchdown, they're in deep stuff.
Yep, absolutely. Ran to the left side behind left guard Tyrone Green. Ryan Pugh, the left tackle, one of those 3 true freshmen in there playing, getting the crowd fired up. And you're right, if Auburn can stick this one in the end zone, very, very difficult for Alabama.
An extra blocker in the backfield. Billings, the motion man. Lester. Touchdown. This will be reviewed, though. It looked like he landed short of the goal line.
It looked like he landed and then reached the ball out. The ball did cross the plane. My only question was he down before he reached the ball over the goal line?
I think he was.
Hard charge by Lester. Mustin, the first one there. I don't know.
The ball almost bounces into the end zone. I think the lineman was blocked by Pugh.
Well, was he on the ground or was he on top of one of his or one of Alabama's players? No, I think
he's short.
He was. His shoulder with the ball hit the ground before the ball bounced over the goal line. And by the time the line judge saw it, he saw the ball across the goal line. Be interesting to see if they overturn that.
Well, the last shot was the best one. It shows the ball bouncing short of the goal line. Now watch the ball hit. You can see the stripe. And it's short of it. Then the ball bounces and he reaches it out. That ball is well short, at least the length of a ball short of the goal line. And it would bring up 3rd down and goal.
3rd down inside the 1.
Maybe nothing but a temporary reprieve, but you take your shots when you can.
I can guarantee you, if you're Nick Saban, you're hoping this goes in your way, because even the fact that they have to snap the football another down is a chance for you to make something happen.
Yeah, when the governor calls, you want to answer the phone just in case. call on the field was a touchdown, so it has to be conclusive to overturn it.
After review, the ruling on the field is reversed. The runner was down at about the half-foot line. It'll be third down.
Well, the crowd hates it, but that's a great call by the officials, and that's why. That's why you have instant replay, and that's why in college you review every play, because that's what you should do to get it right.
Now, if Auburn's thinking quarterback sneak for Alabama, you want to just try to time this up, even if you get a penalty, and try to hit the center right as the ball's being snapped. Try to disrupt the exchange between the quarterback and center. Meanwhile, Brandon Cox, the reason they're not out of the huddle, they're running clock. They know they could run 30 more seconds off the clock. Now they come to the line of scrimmage, play clock under 10. Brandon Cox taking his time. They'll probably sneak here. There goes Cox, touchdown.
One of the keys to whether it was going to be a sneak or not is that Lester didn't know where he was supposed to be, and finally he got back at tailback. He wasn't involved in it.
And the fullback was in motion, so if it wasn't a sneak, it wasn't going to work.
If Auburn wins, how appropriate that Brandon Cox would score the final touchdown in his bid to be only the second Auburn quarterback to win 3 straight as the starter against Alabama. And now they have what may be, in this game, an insurmountable lead. They're up 17-7 on their arch rival.
Make GNC your spot for healthy gifts this holiday season. We've got great prices on fitness equipment, massagers, and other holiday gifts. And we're giving away a free bottle of premium multivitamins when you spend $50 on GNC gift cards. So give health this holiday season and live well.
Something very special about that tie.
You like that?
I do.
Guess how much?
I don't want to guess.
I'm going to tell you. $12.
Wow. How you going to beat that?
Double cheeseburger, $1.
The McDonald's Double Cheeseburger, one of the extravagant choices on the dollar menu. Are you a dollar millionaire?
Now at the Time to Rally event, get a $4,000 factory rebate or 1.9% APR on the 07 Endeavor from Mitsubishi, the fastest growing import brand in America.
Hearty taste, naturally nutritious. Planters, instinctively good.
The Dolphins battle the Steelers at 8:30 on ESPN Monday Night Football.
ESPN's College Football Primetime is presented by Hampton Hotels. At Hampton, we love having you here. And in part by Mitsubishi Motors, driven to thrill.
17-7 in these great views of Auburn and Jordan-Hare Stadium, courtesy of our friends at Outback Steakhouse, proud sponsor of the Outback Bowl. The Bloomin' Onion One airship providing all these shots tonight.
We made the point earlier in the game, but how much does Alabama miss Javier Arenas right now and his return ability? 9 returns of 40 yards or more on the season, out with the ankle injury. Boy, they could use him right here.
Lowe and Cadell will try to fill the void. They wait inside the 10. Only 3:58 to go in the game. Alabama is down 2 scores. Cadell Takes it out of bounds at the 27-yard line. Take you all the way back to the first Iron Bowl for our Good Hands flashback, presented by Allstate. February 22nd, 1893. They played the game at the Lakeview Baseball Park in Birmingham. 450 people showed up for the first one, and Auburn won the first game in the series, 32-22. And it's been a great series in spite of that 41-year interruption. Big task in front of John Parker Wilson here. Got it to Hall.
Yeah, first catch for DJ Hall. First catch of the night for DJ Hall.
Let's go to Reese.
All right, guys, Big 12 North battle between Missouri and Kansas, 21-7 Missouri lead. They were not standing still for very long. Chase Daniel flips it out to the freshman, Derek Washington. He'll take it in to make it 28-7. Todd Reesing would answer, still a 2-touchdown lead for Missouri.
Well, if that one holds up, you got to think, as Hall makes another catch and is out to the 48, you got to think when the new BCS standings come out tomorrow, it will be Missouri, West Virginia, 1-2. And Missouri will still have to play in the conference championship game, which will be a huge test. John Parker Wilson, 3 straight catches by Hall. He's down to the 44. If you're Auburn, you just stay in this kind of prevent defense, let them have the 8-9 yard passes?
Well, I wouldn't play prevent, but I would, yeah, let them run the clock. I mean, because the clock is on your side. Don't give up a big, easy one.
Alabama has all of its timeouts left. They go for the big one here. But Brown was very well covered by Patrick Lee.
You mentioned talking about Missouri and national championship possibilities. If they hold on and win tonight and go back, they played Oklahoma earlier in the year. Oklahoma won that game 41-31. So I'll tell you, this season has been crazy, and it's going to go down to the final weekend. Yeah. And so is the Heisman Trophy race.
Yes, it will.
Right to the end.
Your vote may decide it. Pat Sims got an early start, and Evan Cardwell, the center, got dumped.
Now Alabama, with all 3 timeouts, if they can score quickly here.
Dead ball. Offside. Number 95. Defense. 5-yard penalty. Remains. Second down.
Which, having, you know, I say that, but they've only scored 7 all night. So scoring quickly is not is easier said than done. But if they can, with 3 timeouts, they may not have to onside kick right away.
And John Parker Wilson just got rid of it in time. Coffee got a hand on it but couldn't catch it.
Boy, I thought this was going to be a fumble. I didn't even know how he got this thing out. Tried to step up in the pocket, and then just as he was going down, flipped it out there sidearm. Pretty heavy play to get rid of the football.
Obviously, they're going to have 2 more downs to pick up this first down. Third and 5. Coffee is the setback. Cadell makes the catch down to
he's
the
close.
35.
I don't think he got it.
I think he's about a football length short.
And the tough part for Alabama on that is the clock is continuing to run. Now the officials are going to stop it. Is this a timeout from Alabama or a measurement? No, Alabama uses one of their timeouts because they had to.
And that is very, very valuable.
Next on SportsCenter, complete post-game coverage of the border battle in KC. Big East title in hand, Mountaineers now thinking national title. And just another day in the SEC, highlights of a 4-overtime thriller after the game.
How about that Gilbert Arenas, huh? Definitely one of the most creative players.
And voila. ESPN, your NBA destination for games Wednesdays and Fridays.
Now at the Time to Rally event, get a $2,000 factory rebate or 1.9% APR on the 07 Eclipse from Mitsubishi, the fastest growing import brand in America.
Just one ride on the Yamaha Grizzly 700 Fi with power steering, and you won't ride anything else. That's because it's the world's first ATV ever with fuel injection and power steering. For a ride so comfortable, you have to feel it to believe it. The Grizzly 700 Fi. One ride, and you won't be comfortable riding anything else. Now get a free 2-year factory warranty plus $400 Warn winch for just $69.95.
Let's call it an early holiday gift.
Nice.
Turn left.
This holiday season, give a TomTom to someone you love and get $100 off the world's #1 selling automotive GPS. TomTom. Go confidently.
Cox lobs it up for the end zone for Rodriguez. He goes up. He's got it. Does he have it? Touchdown, Auburn! Down the middle. Pass is intercepted. David Irons. They did it. 40-yard line. The Auburn Tigers are going to win their 5th in a row.
And they're going for 6 tonight, 2:44 away from that.
Alabama going for it on 4th and short here. Last week in the loss to Louisiana Monroe, they were stopped on a key 4th down play. Will they get it this time?
Coffee, 1st down. That will stop the clock momentarily while they move the chains. Alabama has 2 timeouts left and 2:38 on the clock. They need 2 scores.
Yeah, they got to take some shots down the field now. John Parker Wilson can't settle for the little underneath dump-off type throws because the clock is too valuable right now. They've got to score, and then they've got to get the ball back and score again.
This one deep down the middle, perfectly defensed.
Perfect coverage is right.
Gerard Powers was right in the middle. He knew it was a post. He got right there and said, "You're not running it on me."
And he knew who John Parker Wilson would look for, and that's DJ Hall, the slot receiver. They basically bracketed him. The safety, Eric Brock, and the corner, Gerard Powers, both of them.
Oh, and one of the security dogs jumped at his hand and may have got him on the left hand.
And this is a home game, too.
Yes, it is. Tipped, nearly intercepted. It's not like, it's a visiting dog.
Right. Well,
it's not like you're playing at Georgia.
But you're in the state of Alabama. Maybe this is an Alabama dog. Maybe it's a Crimson Tide dog. Who knows? I mean, this cop right here, maybe he's a Bama fan. I mean, yeah, you're in Auburn Stadium. You figure that the canines are all War Eagle, but who knows? Jeez, he's got to leave.
Pressure on John Parker Wilson. He buys time and then throws it away. Well, if you try to field goal from here, it would be 49 yards.
Well, that's exactly what they're lining up to do.
Well, you need the 2 scores anyway.
Tiffin's got the leg.
Yes,
Against
he does.
Tennessee, he kicked a 51 and a 50-yarder, both in that game.
He's got to make this one. He's missed from 44 tonight.
Yeah, he's wide left on that miss.
The wind's at his back. And this one has got a shot, and it's good. Clutch kick by Tiffin. That pulls them to within a touchdown, and there's still plenty of time to go. 2:11 on the 4th quarter clock from Auburn.
Now at the Time to Rally event, get a $2,500 factory rebate or 1.9% APR on the 07 Galant from Mitsubishi, the fastest growing import brand in America.
So I asked my dad where he wanted to go for his 60th birthday. Norway, he said, the land of our ancestors. We drank a pint at Ibsen's favorite pub. We sampled the local fare. We got new sweaters.
I feel like yodeling.
It was the trip of a lifetime, Dad said, until we went to the Hall of Records and discovered we were actually Swedish. 2 tickets to Stockholm, please?
Whatever your story is, your Citi card can help you write it. Citi, let's get it done.
Communicate in less than a second with Nextel Direct Connect.
Nice work.
The largest and fastest push-to-talk network on the planet. That's getting it done at Sprint speed. Visit sprint.com/Nextel.
Now you can enjoy music on your iPod with Bose quality sound, delivered by a small, elegant system that's portable. Introducing the new Bose Sound Dock Portable Digital Music System. Unplug it and take it where you want to go for a performance unmatched by other battery-powered systems this small. So while your surroundings may change, the performance stays with you. The new Bose Sound Dock Portable Digital Music System. Performance that's portable.
IBM presents the 25 greatest players ever. Number 6, Jim Thorpe. Considered one of the greatest athletes in any sport, Thorpe was twice named All-American in football after leading Carlisle to upset wins over Harvard in 1911 and Army in 1912. IBM, getting it done.
From everything that I read about the history of college football, when Jim Thorpe led the Carlisle Indians over Army, he was regarded as not only the best football player, but the best athlete in the history of the United States. I want to see who the other 5 guys are.
I know he's immortalized in my hometown in Canton, Ohio. Now, this is an onside kick. Jamie Christensen is kicking off. It has been Lee Tiffin doing the kicking off, and you can see the way Alabama lined up onside all the way.
And it's recovered by Auburn. Pounced on by Cole Bennett, the tight end. They had the hands team up there. Alabama has 2 timeouts left. They had to burn one on their previous offensive series. So the best that they can hope for is to get this ball back, if they do get it back, with about, say 1:20 left on the clock, if they can stop Auburn and Auburn does not kick a field goal. Lester.
If you're Auburn right now, you're telling those running backs, cover up the football and don't necessarily fight for extra yardage. Now, because Alabama is going to try to strip the football. They're going to try to hold up the runner and strip the football. So if you're Brad Lester or if you're Ben Tate, you get what you can get and you get down. Tommy Tuberville upset with a little of the extracurricular stuff with Rolando McClain at the end of that play. Alabama uses their second timeout to stop the clock. Only 7 seconds went off the clock on that play. Here's McClain. You know, again, they're going to try to hold the guy up and rip the football off. Although it looks like he's trying to rip a little bit more in the ball out. But again, if you're Auburn, you just protect the ball and go down and then take your time. Make them use their timeouts and take your time and run the clock.
And McClain was getting a lecture on the Alabama sideline when he went over there. Let's go to Holly.
Well, guys, before the game, I spoke with the referee, Tom Ritter, and asked him about what concerns they have about extracurricular activity. He said, we take great precautions in rivalry games. We spoke to both head coaches. We have spoke to each other as a staff. We will not tolerate anything after the whistle. He said, we've asked the coaches to help us with their players. That's why he saw Nick Saban quickly out onto the field, beckoning McClain over that way to calm him down.
Okay, Holly, thanks. Good job. Lester. McClain has him again, pulls him back about 2 yards shy of a first down. So this will be the last shot for Alabama. They are going to have to stop Auburn on a 3rd and 2. Otherwise, Auburn will be able to run out the clock.
I think the other reason you saw Nick Saban talking to Rondo McClain is that they already had one very, very costly personal foul penalty on the late hit by Saunders that prolonged that drive and allowed Auburn to get that touchdown to go up 2 scores. So no more need for a costly penalty like that at this point in the game.
Nick Saban, of course, took a lot of flack this week for his comments when he was trying to talk about a program that was really gotten down, and that was his own Alabama team after 3 straight losses, and likened it to, he mentioned 9/11, he mentioned Pearl Harbor, and I know he regrets both of those references. I don't think there was any really evil intent involved here. I just think he used a couple of bad examples.
Yeah, a couple bad examples. Everybody, I think, that knows him and knows football knows what he was trying to say.
There's Stewart. He is not going to get a first down. Stopped at the 30. And I know he was concerned about those references, and I think there was really too much made out of that. Now, if you're Auburn, do you go for the field goal or do you go for the first down? Field goal puts it out of reach.
Yeah.
Could be blocked and run back.
Well, and if you miss it, you give them excellent field position.
Yeah.
Same being the case if you go for it on 4th down. I think you let the clock run all the way down, and then you punt the football, I think.
And they will call a timeout with 1:06 to go. Let's check in with Reese.
All right, guys, Big 12 North showdown between Missouri and Kansas. Mizzou up 31-14. Kansas trying to scrap back in it. Todd Reesing, Dexton Fields, touchdown. Still a lot of time to go on ABC, and it's just a 10-point game.
Boy, who would have thought Missouri and Kansas, when this season started, the Missouri playing Kansas at the end of November would be a huge ball game.
Would matter to anybody outside of those 2 states.
That's right.
You know?
Well, Auburn does not have the punt team or the field goal team out there.
Well, they might go for it, or they might go to just try to draw them off sides with some shift and some hard counts. Let's see what Tommy Tuberville elects to do.
Lester is the tailback. Alabama's going to sell out on the run, and Lester got it anyway. Look at that run.
Wow.
They're on their feet at Auburn.
Wow, what a run. I mean, Brad Lester is not an overly big guy. He's 5'11", 190 pounds, but watch the power he runs with. Follows his fullback, Carl Stewart, and then just drives and drives and drives.
Tommy Tuberville, who has won 5 in a row, is now on the verge of winning 6 straight. Auburn has never beaten Alabama 6 straight years. Now, he upset everybody last year when he flashed the 5 sign to the Auburn crowd. What will he do winning number 6? Gonna have to use the thumb.
Well, that's what the fans are all doing. We even saw the gal in Iraq doing that. The 5 fingers and the 1 thumb. I don't know whether Tommy Tuberville will do it or not.
What are they gonna do, Holly?
Well, they've been trying to coach him up in the PR department not to do it, not to give him that photograph moment for all Alabama fans to hate all year. But I can tell you, I saw them today in the bookstore. They've already made up bumper stickers that say next hand. They had 5, next hand means 6, and the bumper stickers are already printed.
This guy has done a magnificent job at this school. Can't say enough about Tommy Tuberville.
And I'll tell you what, I mean, I think that if you're Jay Jacobs and if you're the administration at Auburn, you do whatever you need to do to keep Tommy Tuberville here, because he's got a good thing going here. He's a good recruiter. They've got talent, and they're one of the best teams in the SEC over the last 5 years.
And it would take him about 5 seconds to find another job. Auburn Auburn has done it. Brandon Cox becomes the second Auburn quarterback ever to win 3 straight as a starter against arch rival Alabama, and they have won 6 in a row against the Crimson Tide for the first time ever. Here's Holly.
Coach, it's the longest winning streak for Auburn in this series. How do you describe how you've been able to do it?
Well, the players have played hard. You know, we just kept our focus, and you know, the last few games we hadn't played very well, but offensively we finally played a second half. We controlled the ball a little bit, but you know, to win 6 in a row against your state rival is awfully hard. I'm proud for the fans. You know, that'll go down in history.
Your senior quarterback Brandon Cox took a hard hit. How do you describe the toughness of this kid?
Well, you know, he's a 5th-year senior that's taken a lot of licks. He doesn't run very well, and he's going to take a lot of licks, but he's used to it. But, you know, this is his game. He's fought hard in this game. He's wanted to win this game. He never lost to Alabama, and that's big.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
And 100,000 people here at this stadium are going to start to say, yeah, but next year, guess what's going to happen in this game? They'll start talking about it on the way to the parking lot. The final score, 17-10 Auburn over Alabama. Sports Center coming up next over on ESPN News Post-Game Extra. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For Todd Blackledge, Holly Rowe, and our entire ESPN crew, this is Mike Patrick. Thanks for watching, everybody, and good night from Auburn.
This is Sports Center.
Upping the ante in the border showdown. Missouri explodes early. Would Kansas have a comeback in them? Mountaineers toast the Big East title with a blowout win. Now West Virginia turns its eye to bigger things. Taking over towns across the country, rolling with the Tide, Gators, and Sooners. Whose colors are you sporting on Rivalry Saturday? Plus, LeBron making must-see TV what he did this time, and Shaq shows Dwight Howard he's living in the Diesel's world on SportsCenter.
BCS or busted Kansas, Missouri might be the oldest rivalry west of the Mississippi, but it's brand new to the national landscape, and the implications of this border war, huge. Welcome to SportsCenter with John Butchergross. I'm Michelle Bonner.
The winner is in line to play for a national championship against a Big East team, most likely. To Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City, number 2 against number 4. It's safe to say the biggest game in the history of Kansas football, easily the biggest game for Missouri in nearly half a century. Much on the line. First quarter, the first big play, Jeremy Macklin returns the punt, 43 yards. Watch it again. Kyle Tucker, Kansas punter, he saves 6 with an aggressive move right here. Maybe a cutback in order there from Macklin. Tries to beat the punter down the sideline. Tucker saves 6. Same Missouri possession, 4th and 12. We're going for 3. No, we're going for a fake. William Franklin tried to make it look like he was running off the field. Stopped, took the pass. He is short. Gary Pinkel, he's going for it. Like here, 4th and goal. 3-0. No, we're going for 6. Run the play you know will work. Chase Daniel, Martin Rucker, 7-0 Missouri. Kansas quarterback Todd Reesing's game management, normally good, but here picked off by William Moore. Started to feel it was Missouri's night at this juncture. Later in the second, Kansas only 3 rushes. Coming towards Chase Daniel eventually, Denario Alexander is going to get open, and Daniel finds him, and he scores, and Missouri is up 14-0. Kansas special teams plagued by missed opportunity. Scott Webb from 33, stoink. No good. Next Kansas possession, snipe to the left from 45. No points for Kansas, third quarter. Kansas down 14-0, 3rd and 9. Reese off the hands of Marcus Henry, picked off by Castine Bridges. He's going down the right sideline, and Missouri has the ball in Jayhawk territory. Things are looking good. Ensuing Missouri possession, it's time for another edition of the Jack Show. Jimmy Jackson from 1 yard out. 21-0 Missouri. Following a Kansas possession, Reese looking deep for Desmond Briscoe. What a catch! Deep into Missouri territory, then 3rd and goal. Brennan McAnderson makes it 21-7. Kansas has life. Plenty of time to go. 7:21 in the 3rd. Missouri again. Daniel to Derek Washington. He has blockers, and he has 6. 28-7. Kansas, though, coming right back. 4th and 2. Reesing. Bootleg, and he scores. 28-14. Missouri is now 31-21 with 5:42 to go. We'll keep you posted.
All right, so win over Oklahoma State. Number 10 Oklahoma goes to the Big 12 title game. Sam Bradford cleared to play after suffering a concussion against Texas Tech early first quarter. Bradford finds a wide-open Alan Patrick. Patrick, a career-best 202 yards. He had 3 TDs. Sooners up 7-0. 21-7, 4th and goal for OSU. Zach Robinson keeps it. Tries to get in the end zone, loses the football. Oklahoma's DJ Wolf recovers. The ensuing OU possession was 2nd and goal from the 3. Off the play action, Bradford looks for Dane Zaslaw. But on another look, John Finley was open. So next play for Oklahoma, similar play call. This time, Bradford does find Finley for the touchdown. Now, Bradford breaks the Bowl subdivision record for passing touchdowns by a freshman QB with 30 today. Sooners up 28-7. 28-17 now. Off the play action, Bradford finds Finley again. 150 yards, 4 TDs for Bradford, and Oklahoma clinches a spot in the Big 12 title game.
Connecticut, West Virginia, the Big East Championship at a BCS berth on the line. And with number 1 LSU losing, West Virginia could be number 1 if Kansas falls to Missouri. First quarter tied at 7. Here comes West Virginia. Pat White, what a big game he had. Finds Steve Slayton, 14-7 West Virginia. Early 3rd, still a game, 24-14. Here goes White. Look at the cutback. Slicing and dicing and scoring. Oh, the Mountaineers are starting to taste it. What a run by White. Randy Edsel said after the game he's the
Durant. Thunderous dunk down the lane over Joel Anthony. Thunder win by 5.
Ecuador and Chile. Segundo Castillo shoots. Claudio Bravo, the great leaping save. Watch it again. Bravo! Chile wins 1-0.
Oh, I have hockey. Penguins and Canes. Bill Guerin. The shot. Cam Ward, a great save, deserving of a couple of more looks. Penguins win in a shootout.
Undefeated on the road this year, Chris. Number 2, Costa Rica, USA.
Oh, the Elwood header and the equalizer. It has been stolen away from Costa Rica.
And number 1, the highlight of the day, Oliver Wallstrom, the lacrosse legend.
From Portland, Maine.
Look at that.
The Junior Pirates, the
He's
Junior
9
Buckeyes.
9 years old. 9 years old. Fantastic stuff. That's going to do it for us on this live edition of SportsCenter. I'm Chris McKendry.
I'm John Butchergoss. We got 25 seconds now. Out of nowhere. It's a big weekend in college football. It's a big weekend in the NFL. And
the Dodgers and Phillies start tonight, and you can get all the latest on SportsCenter at 6 o'clock.
Somewhere Oliver Wallstrom is practicing a new move. You go, Oliver.
Outside the Lines is next. That was great.
Now on Outside the Lines, first report.
I did not sexually assault Andrew McNulty. Her false and vicious allegations are an attack on my family and on me. I would never, ever force myself on a woman.
Criminal charges were never filed, but Ben Roethlisberger still faces a civil suit in Nevada, examining the accuser, plus the reaction in Pittsburgh.
They said this would be the biggest sports moment in Binghamton history. The Bearcats, their first ever trip to the NCAAs.
But at what cost? A college basketball program is now decimated by the decisions it made to win like it never had before.
And now, sitting in for Bob Lee, Steve Bunin.
By recruiting talented players with questionable backgrounds, it took Kevin Brodus only 2 seasons to take Binghamton University basketball where it had never been before, a conference championship and the NCAA tournament. That was in March. 7 short months later, the Bearcats program is in total disarray. 6 players were kicked off the team in September after 1 star was arrested for selling and possessing crack cocaine. The school finally placed Brodus on paid leave yesterday after announcing he admitted having improper contact with recruits. The basketball program is the most high-profile stain on the BU athletic program, with its 3 player arrests in Brodus's 2.5 years. But it's not the only problem. The athletic director has already resigned. A lecturer has alleged academic favoritism for Bearcats athletes, and 2 members of the athletic department were named in a sexual harassment suit brought by a fundraiser. All this leading the school president to call for an audit of the entire athletic program. Pete Thamel is covering this story as the national college sports writer for the New York Times. Pete, of all these issues facing the athletic department, which is the most damaging?
I mean, I think there's a lot of separate issues right now that are going to be looked at in the independent audit, but I think the biggest one they have to be concerned about right now are the allegations of academic fraud. And when you look at it, when the judge comes in and takes a look at the audit, how did they keep these kids eligible? How did they get them in? And did they pass them through? Were they doing legitimate coursework? I think that, because that goes right to the core of the university and in the university's academic integrity. And I think right now, I mean, Brodus is out. He'll likely never coach another game. And that's going to be a big financial burden. But for the big picture of Binghamton University, I think that's the biggest question right now.
And what do your contacts tell you would be the punishment if the judge in the state of New York does find wrongdoing?
Well, I mean, punishment's a funny thing, you know, with the NCAA and whatnot. I mean, this almost transcends punishment. I mean, they're sort of getting it in the daily bad headlines and in what the winning has brought to the university, which is embarrassment and shame.
What happens now?
You know, it's a very good question. The investigations, I mean, these things take time, and there's a lot to go through. It was interesting that a memo was sent out in the university earlier this week to not destroy documents, and they were related to all sorts of things. And, I mean, it could be some heavy stuff from here if this is a complete and thorough independent investigation.
Mark Macon takes over temporarily as head coach. He was an assistant on the staff, the former Temple star. What's he left with?
Nothing. I mean, they are going to be a terrible basketball team this year. There's no question about that. 90% of their scoring is gone. They only have 7 eligible scholarship players. Their leading returning scorer last year was really a defensive stopper. They're going to be a very bad basketball team, and, you know, they're going to start paying for their sins. Pete Thamel, writing for the New York Times, we appreciate your time here on Outside the Lines. Thanks, Steve. Tom Brennan coached 20 seasons in Binghamton's current conference, America East. The Vermont legend joins us now. Tom, who is most to blame in this?
Well, Stevie, I think it's all are complicit, from the president to the athletic director to the coach. And at least the athletic director fell on his sword, which is what he certainly should have done. And, you know, I think that's a big step in trying to repair things. But, you know, nobody gets in without somebody's approval. And the problem was that all 3 of those parties, they all wanted the same thing. And unfortunately, they got it.
If the school came to you to fix it, what's the first thing you'd do?
Well, I would certainly try to recruit a more typical University of Binghamton student. Now, everybody knows we're all big boys. We live in the real world. Kids get in school. Your kid might not get in school, and a basketball player can get in school. That's just the way it works. But the fact is that Binghamton is a wonderful university, highly respected academically, and I think the way for them to go now is to say, we're only bringing in top-flight student athletes. We tried it the other way. It didn't work, and I think this is the way to go.
And as a coach, how do you do that and still win?
Well, there is the problem, my friend. You have to have people with patience. As John Giannini, the coach of LaSalle, said of me, we all wish we had 16-year windows of opportunity to be successful. But the truth is, I never felt any pressure at Vermont because nobody cared that much. But now, because of the tremendous pressure for teams and people to get into the NCAA tournament, the ridiculous amount of money that coaches are making, I mean, people just say, hey, I'm going to take a shot. If it doesn't work, then so be it. But, you know, it's not a good time there, that's for sure.
We titled this segment, What Price Glory? Tom, what is the price of glory?
Well, it's an amazingly damaging reputation to your university, to your basketball program, to the league that you play in. And let me say this, all right? Of those 6 kids, at least 4 of them I know, this was second or third or fourth chance. I don't feel bad for them. I mean, you take a shot with kids. This is America. I buy all that. But the fact is that, you know, my daddy used to say, you end up where you're headed. And when things like that, when you bring in people with character issues and people that really don't have the academic acumen to even want to be a good student, then it really makes things difficult.
And finally, Tom, how does what's happening at Binghamton compare to the other major scandals we've had in college basketball this year alone at Louisville, Memphis, and USC?
Well, just the fact that we would mention Binghamton with Louisville, Memphis, and USC, what reason would that be, except for the wrong reasons, unfortunately? And you know, and as I said, there wasn't nearly enough to gain from it, and we saw how much there was to lose.
Tom Brennan, University of Vermont legend, we appreciate your time on Outside the Lines. Always a pleasure.
My pleasure, Stevie. My best to the family.
All right, poll question to you. The same thing we just asked Coach Brennan. Which college basketball program has suffered the biggest black eye this year? Is it Binghamton, Louisville, Memphis, or USC? To vote, go to the video link at ESPN.com. Click on Outside the Lines. On our interactive page, you can get on Sunday show. You can also go more in depth on our OTL features with any of our companion pieces. Next, a new twist in the civil suit against Ben Roethlisberger. OTL investigates the accuser and examines the fallout for the quarterback in Pittsburgh.
Got plenty of pickup. You don't even really feel like you're driving a hybrid. And it's only a 4-cylinder, but man, this thing hauls. It really does. I mean, if you want me to show you, I sure can. If
you have more than $10,000 in credit card debt, time is not on your side. Take the first step by calling the Debt Relief Helpline now. Debt management programs have been effective in helping individuals and families just like yours rebuild their credit and get their lives back on track. So call the number on the screen now. In just minutes, a debt settlement representative will go over the many options available to you. Options that include setting up a payoff plan with your existing creditors to reduce past penalties and late fees and lower your interest rates.
I'm going to confront this economic crisis head on by taking all necessary steps to ease the credit crisis, help hardworking families, and restore growth and prosperity.
So get your life back on track now. Time isn't on your side, so don't wait. This is the perfect time to develop a plan that can help settle your debt and help you make that first step toward financial freedom. So don't wait. Make the call now.
Listening to you. It's how we save you money at Nationwide Insurance.
My name is Sandy Garza, and I am on your side. Only Nationwide gives you an on your side review. You tell us about your life and your insurance. Sometimes you don't have enough coverage, or you may even have too much. We'll let you know. We listen and build you a custom policy of just the coverage you need at the right price for you.
Only a Nationwide Insurance agent can give you an on your side review. Call 866-633-3219 to save up to $523.
We take a look at the policy and look to see if there's any gaps in coverage. You know, in addition, we talk about discounts that are available, and we try to save you money. I mean, we really do.
Call 866-633-3219 now, or call a local agent. Switch today and save up to $523. Listening and saving you money is how
Nationwide is on your side.
Watch this.
Nice hands, Larry.
IHOP's got NFL with an all-pro lineup featuring AFC and MFC stuffed French toast.
Historic rivalry takes on national championship implications as Heisman winner Sam Bradford leads the Sooners against the Longhorns. Saturday, 20th ranked Oklahoma battles number 3 Texas. Noon Eastern on ABC. College football lives here.
I'm Eric Casillas here on the set of College Football Live, and coming up, OU Texas. We have both coaches on the program today. Plus, Todd McShay on the quarterbacks in the Notre Dame USC game, and we have unbeatens tonight. Who's going down? You'll find out next. See you soon.
Ben Roethlisberger is following up his second Super Bowl win with his best statistical season, leading the NFL in completion percentage, ranking 2nd in yards and 7th in rating, on pace to set career highs in attempts, completions, and yards per game. But off the field, Roethlisberger is in a different spot. He faces no criminal charges, but after being accused of rape, Roethlisberger's name has been unquestionably stained. Shelley Smith now sheds light on the accuser in the civil suit against the Steelers quarterback.
Much is known publicly about Ben Roethlisberger, first-round draft pick by the Pittsburgh Steelers, 2-time Super Bowl champion. He is a celebrity in the spotlight. Single, he has in the past been linked romantically with golfer Natalie Gulbis and former Heroes star Missy Peregrine.
It's one of those deals where, you know, you're single, you've been very, very fortunate from a financial standpoint.
Jerome Bettis was teammates with Roethlisberger when they won the Super Bowl in 2006.
Obviously, from a woman's standpoint, you know, there are going to be women that are attracted to him, and that's just it's nature.
Little is known publicly about Andrea McNulty, the 31-year-old Harris Casino employee accusing Roethlisberger in civil court of sexual assault and 8 Harris employees of covering up the incident. She is seeking a minimum of $490,000 plus punitive damages. McNulty was born and raised in eastern Canada, growing up in the industrial city of St. John, New Brunswick, attending St. John High School, where she was editor of the student newspaper.
When she came into the class, she always had a smile on her face. There's Andrea McNulty there, and there's myself.
Rob Michelson graduated with McNulty in 1997.
The other kids that she hung around with were part of the popular clique, athletes, and smart people. Andrea got along with everybody.
In 2003, McNulty landed a job at Harris in Lake Tahoe as a front desk clerk. She got divorced in 2008 after less than 4 years of marriage. By then, she had worked her way up at Harris to executive casino host. In filing the civil suit here at the 2nd Judicial District Court, McNulty's private life is now public. In court documents, McNulty said that over the past 2 years, she had an affair with a married man and a year-long online relationship with someone who, as it turned out, was posing as a soldier in Iraq. In affidavits filed in this case, several people said McNulty told them that she came to believe the person posing as a soldier was actually the wife of the man with whom she'd been having the affair. McNulty says that as a result of the alleged assault and the online hoax, she spent most of the past year in and out of hospitals battling depression and post-traumatic stress disorder. Roethlisberger's defense argues that her hospitalization came only from the trauma of finding out that the soldier, also named Ben, didn't exist. McNulty says she first met Roethlisberger on July 5, 2008, when he was checking into Harris Hotel. Roethlisberger was in town to play in the American Century Tournament at Edgewood Golf Course.
6-pointer for Roethlisberger at the last.
McNulty says that during the 2008 tournament, she was assigned concierge-like duties on the 17th floor, where Roethlisberger's suite was located. On the night of July 11th, McNulty says she returned to her post at about 10 p.m. and received a phone call from Roethlisberger, who told her his television wasn't working. According to the complaint, McNulty went to his suite to try to fix it. Upon entering, Roethlisberger led her to the adjacent room and pointed at the bedroom television. But the TV functioned properly, so she attempted to leave the room. That's when she alleges he stood in front of her, blocking her way. She says then Roethlisberger assaulted her sexually.
That's not Ben's character. It really isn't. He's not an aggressive guy, off the football field.
And it's a horrible thing to happen to anyone, but to happen to Andrea like that, she was just one of the nicest people I've ever met.
According to a source close to the case, it was at Edgewood last July, a year and a day after the alleged assault, that a process server stood in an autograph line near the clubhouse, waiting for Roethlisberger to finish his round of golf. She approached Roethlisberger and served him with the official document that he was being accused of sexually assaulting McNulty. It was something he vehemently denied 10 days later.
I did not sexually assault Andrea McNulty. Saturday was the first that I learned of her accusations. Her false and vicious allegations are an attack on my family and on me. I would never, ever force myself on a woman. I'm going to fight to protect my family and my reputation.
McNulty did not file a police report or a criminal complaint. She says the day after the alleged attack, still shocked and distressed, she called Harris' chief of security and told him what happened. But she alleges Harris failed to adequately investigate because of the close friendship between Roethlisberger and Harris Regional President John Koster. Koster had been paired with Roethlisberger that week in the golf tournament. Lawyers for Harris deny any wrongdoing by Harris employees. Roethlisberger and McNulty declined to speak with Outside the Lines for this story. As Steelers training camp began in early August, Roethlisberger was asked by reporters about the lawsuit.
Do you expect this to be much of a distraction for you around the room?
What, football?
Nope. Yeah, I guess the off-field stuff.
I'm playing football. Any other football questions?
Back in Tahoe, McNulty was being shadowed by the paparazzi. A camera crew from the TV show TMZ waited for her outside her house 11 days after the lawsuit was filed.
Have you talked to Ben? Andrea.
A week later, McNulty filed a police report saying she had received dozens of threatening and harassing phone calls and messages, at least one warning her that something's going to happen if she didn't drop the lawsuit. Attorneys have released specific information in this case through the more than 800 pages of motions, statements, and exhibits filed in court. Included were hundreds of what Roethlisberger's attorneys called lighthearted text and email messages between McNulty and the fictitious soldier hours after she says the assault occurred. which they say proves she was not traumatized. For example, within 24 hours of the alleged attack, she emailed Ben the soldier that this golf tournament has been really fun. McNulty's attorney called the behavior often typical of sexual assault victims, and that in fact his client experienced shock after the attack, and said many of the emails were taken out of context. In affidavits, several people say McNulty bragged about having sex with Roethlisberger, at one point calling the sex the best ever. 2 other affidavits supported McNulty's version, including that of a former roommate who said she told him that Roethlisberger had sex with her despite her protests.
2 days after Roethlisberger was served, McNulty was back working at Harrah's. Harrah's, having learned that McNulty intended to file a lawsuit, had given her 2 weeks off with pay during this year's celebrity tournament so as to avoid potential conflicts. Since then, attorneys for both sides have fired salvos at one another.
Roethlisberger's side has accused McNulty's side of filing a frivolous lawsuit in an attempt to extort and defame Roethlisberger. McNulty's attorney filed a settlement offer, saying McNulty would drop the case if Roethlisberger admitted he sexually assaulted her, apologized, and pay $100,000 to charity, which Roethlisberger's attorney called a destructive farce. Most recently, each side requested both parties undergo a psychiatric examination, and McNulty's attorney has asked Roethlisberger to provide a list of his sexual encounters and the names of any woman who has claimed improper sexual conduct by Roethlisberger in the past. And so for now, the process continues. Jerome Bettis knows too well what it is like to be in this kind of spotlight. Bettis was accused and ultimately cleared of sexual assault in 2002.
The hard part was, going on the road with the fans, and they get on you already, but there's nothing you can do about it but fight hard to clear your name.
Shelley Smith reporting. ESPN legal analyst Lester Munson joins us now. And Lester, I know there are some new developments. What are they?
In the last couple of days, Ben Roethlisberger and his legal team have continued to file papers that are piling on the accuser, Andrea McNulty. They keep adding to this incredible stack of emails. They apparently have about 3,000 emails that McNulty has sent to friends and to the guy that she knew as Ben the soldier. They are now showing that McNulty has said to people she's a sex addict. They are now showing that McNulty was sending topless photos of herself out over the internet to the soldier. They have a lot of damaging material that they are putting into the court record, trying to make this case come to an end.
Strategically, where does each legal team stand right now?
Right now, Roethlisberger's lawyers are trying to impose sanctions.